This next set of problems all deals with unit rates. Now, unit rates can be expressed as ratios where their second term is always 1. So for these following questions, we're going to use their original ratios and then convert them to their corresponding unit rates. So let's start with question 1. We have 24 liters of juice in 2 containers, and we want to find how many liters per container. So we're first going to start off by writing the ratio of 24 liters per 2 containers, and then we want to convert this to a unit ratio. A unit ratio always has a second term as 1, so we're going to divide this by 2 and this by 2 to get our second term of 1. 24 divided by 2 is 12, and then 2 divided by 2 is 1. So we have 12 liters to 1 container. So that means our final answer is going to be 12 liters per container. Make sure you write out your units at the end, otherwise you won't get full marks for your question. And this slash sign also means per. You can either write liters per container, or you can write liters slash container. Our next example says 252 centimeters of snow in 18 hours, and we need to find how many centimeters per hour. So again, we're going to start off with our ratio of 252 to 18 hours, and then to convert it to its unit ratio, we have to get the second term to 1, so we're going to divide both sides by 18. And then we're left with 14 to 1, so that means we get 14 centimeters per hour as our final answer. 48 customers in 4 checkout lanes, and we need to find how many customers per lane. So we first start off with our ratio of 48 customers to every 4 lanes, and then we need to divide this by 4 to get our unit ratio of 1, and then divide this by 4, where 48 divided by 4 is 12, and then 4 divided by 4 is 1. So our final answer is going to be 12 customers per lane. $95 cherry pieces in 5 bags of candy, and we need to find the pieces per bag. So we have 95 pieces for every 5 bags, and then to make it into its unit ratio, we can divide this side by 5 and then divide this side by 5. Where 95 divided by 5 is 19, and then 5 divided by 5 is 1. So we're going to have 19 cherry pieces per bag of candy, so our final answer is 19, where our units are pieces per bag. $96 for mowing 6 lawns, and we need to find how many dollars are made per lawn. So our ratio is going to be 96 for every 6 lawns, and then to get it to a units ratio of 1, we divide both sides by 6. Where 96 divided by 6 is 16, and then 6 divided by 6 is 1. So our ratio is 16 to 1, and our final answer is $16 per lawn. Now moving on up top, we have $102 for 34 TV channels, and we need to find how many dollars per channel. So our ratio starts off for 102 for every 34 channels, and then to get it into its unit ratio, we divide both sides by 34, and 102 divided by 34 is 3, and then 34 divided by 34 is 1. So our final ratio is 3 to 1, and then our final answer is going to be $3 per channel. 180 points for defeating 30 enemies, and we need to find the points per enemy. So we write our original ratio of 180 to 30, and then we're going to divide this side by 30 and this side by 30 as well, where 180 divided by 30 is 6, and then 30 divided by 30 is 1. So our unit ratio is 6 to 1, and our final answer is 6 points per enemy. $18 copies in 3 minutes, and we need to find how many copies per minute. So again, we start off with our original ratio of 18 to 3, and then we divide our second term by 3 to get 1, and our first term by 3 again. And 18 divided by 3 is 6, and 3 divided by 3 is 1, so we have our unit ratio of 6 to 1, and our final answer is 6 copies per minute. 132 customers over 6 days, and we need to find how many customers per day. So our original ratio is 132 customers for every 6 days, and then we want to divide both sides by 6 to make our unit ratio. 132 divided by 6 is 22, and then 6 divided by 6 is 1. So we're going to have our unit ratio of 22 to 1 and our final answer of 22 customers per day. Our final question is 8 pies eaten in 2 minutes, and we need to find how many pies per minute. So we're going to write our ratio of 8 pies for every 2 minutes, and then we need to convert it into its unit ratio by dividing both sides by 2. Right? 8 divided by 2 is 4, and then 2 divided by 2 is 1. So our unit ratio is 4 to 1, and our final answer is 4 pies per minute.